Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel Crafty Lefty. I'm Tanya and today we are going to sew a 3D mask by hand. That's right, we are going to hand sew a 3D mask. So what's a 3D mask? I personally think that if you're not very used to sewing anything, that this could be the perfect mask project for you because it's simple and you just sew straight stitches, which is much easier than trying to sew something curved. I'm only using 2 pieces of fabric, but once you get used to sewing this mask, you can always increase the number of layers of fabric. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Hang on. So this is what it looks like, and the cute thing is, I know, because I hand sewed it with embroidery thread, which is a really good thread to use because it's thicker, and it's cute because you can always pick different colors, so it actually may look like a design. And this is the running stitch, so all that's going to be in the video. And the cool thing about 3D mask is that you see you can adjust it, like push this part in, or like the bottom part you could push it in to either make it smaller, or you can pull it out to make it wider, or if you feel you need a little bit more space for your nose, you could actually push it in too. So it's absolutely amazing. Check it out. Yeah. And the elastic is completely adjustable. All right, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of my craft videos, and don't forget to like and comment on this video as well. And I hope you enjoy. See you. Bye. So today we're going to make a 3D mask. Alright, so we're going to start off with tracing out the template onto the fabric. Okay, so the template I have already measured. If you want a template, you can always drop me an email or comment on this video. So it's 10 inches by 7.5. So this is how I got my 10 inches. So it's 10 inches lengthwise, alright, and 7.5 inches down, and the corners I've actually cut away. It's about 3 inches. So you need to measure after you've measured the rectangle to cut away all 4 corners. Alright, you need material, pencil, needle threader, snipper or scissors, pins to pin the fabric together. So I'm going to hand sew it today, a little bit different. So I'm going to show you with a more obvious thread, which I'm going to use embroidery thread with an embroidery needle. Okay. And measuring tape, of course. Elastic, because it's going to be ear loops. So for elastic, you need 2 pieces of elastic. You can just measure them 10 inches in length. Can you see? Okay, 2. Okay, once you've done that, just put the elastic aside, right? So first we are going to trace our template out into the material, and I'm going to use a pencil to trace it out. Alright, I'm going to trace it. So we're going to use just 2 pieces of fabric for this 3D mask. Let me see. Alright, so I'm going to trace it on the wrong side of the fabric. So you can either trace one by one, or what I like to do is to fold it. Fold your fabric. We can trace both pieces together. So I am folding the fabric into 2. Alright, so my template is the actual size, so you don't have to leave any allowance. Okay, you can try this template, and if you feel that the mask doesn't fit you because it's too big or too small, you can always tweak the size yourself. Generally, this size should be okay for most people. And the nice thing about the 3D mask is that it feels comfortable and spacious and doesn't fog up if you actually wear glasses, spectacles. Okay. Alright, this is the selvage. So usually we don't use the selvage of the material, okay, but it serves as a guideline to show you how you should cut your material. Okay, we'll leave that for another video. So here seems to be kind of straight, so I will just put the template against it and treat it as it's already measured. Let's trace out the whole thing. So if you want, you can actually pin your template to your fabric, or you can just hold it down like what I'm doing, but make sure it doesn't shift when you are tracing, because you will have a odd shape. But I will pin it down after I finish tracing, because it's 2 pieces together. So I'm not sure if you can see my line. So I'm just going to pin it together. And then I'm going to cut this out. So if you want to pin, you actually pin from the top facing you and you pierce it. So usually I have this mat underneath, which is like a what's the name of it? It goes back to its original shape, no matter how much. It's a cutting mat actually. So usually if you want to use sharp objects and stuff, it's good to actually use a mat, cutting mat, so you won't ruin your table. Okay, so we are going to cut it out. I'll just start from here. But please don't cut at an angle. I just wanted to show you guys. Make sure it's flat when you want to cut, and cut slowly, because please follow the lines. Follow the line exactly. So if you can't cut 2 together, no problem. Just trace and cut one by one. Okay, always make sure that it's flat. The pieces that you're cutting, it must be flat. Okay. Also, if you are new to sewing, I recommend that you use this type of material, this type of design, I mean, gingham fabric or checkered fabric, because it's the pattern is easier for you to follow. Okay, put aside the rest of it. Okay, so we have the front, face front. Okay, so you put the two pieces of fabric together. So that if you had cut both together, you would have folded front facing front. Okay, so that you don't have to open up again and put them together. Alright, so front facing front, two pieces together. Alright, we are going to hand sew this mask. Yep, we're going to sew along the whole thing, okay? But we are going to leave a space just here at the bottom. So maybe I'm going to just put a pin here to show that, right, no sewing here. Okay, we're going to keep this much. Because we're going to turn this whole thing inside out, so we need to have an opening. Alright, so we're going to sew right here, all the way. Okay, and then you stop by this pin. Okay, so get your embroidery needle and thread, and I decided to use yellow. I hope that it will help you guys to see clearly. And of course, I've already knotted this one. Oh, okay, I'm ready. So I'm gonna start from here where I said the opening will be. Okay, I'm gonna start from here. So like I said, this material is really nice because there are lines you can actually see. I'm trying to make it easy that you don't have to do so many measurements and stuff. We are trying to leave about two, say if you use the gingham, I would say the small or medium size gingham fabric, we would leave about 2 squares, which is about 1 cm. You can leave about half to 1 cm spacing. So it's more like maybe around 1 cm or so. Okay, so we can just follow that. Maybe I'll start here. Alright, so pierce, it doesn't matter because this is going to be inside, right? Okay, so pierce in from, say if I started from the front, so I pierce through for it to go to the back, and then I pierce from the back to the front. Now that I'm at the front, I'm going to pierce it. So try and keep your stitches as small as possible. Maybe you can follow 1 square at a time. Okay, from the front to the back. Don't worry about the lines at the back, okay? Just follow the one in front, from the back to the front. And don't pull too tight because you will gather up the material. Right, now front to the back. Okay, and you see it? Back to the front. Front to the back. See, I'm just following the squares here in front. So don't worry about the squares behind, okay? Oops, I got caught. It's okay. Okay, now that you reach the corner, same thing, about 2 squares or so. Right, so I'm going to go from the back to the front. I'm still following the lines in front. front to back. You see that? Same, back to front. So now that the squares are like side, I'm just going from the corner to corner of a square. It's about there. Front to back. Alright, so now you're just gonna continue all the way, the exact same thing until here, this point where the pin is, the opening. Alright, now that you've sewn all around, let me show you. Okay, sewn all around, you can remove the pins. Alright, sewn all around except the opening. This part that you're not supposed to sew, okay? So we will end the thread first by tying a knot. Okay, cut off that bit of thread. Let's put it aside. Now you remove that pin. Okay, we are going to turn inside out from that opening. Okay, let's turn it inside out. So make sure that when you turn it inside out that you need to push out the corners. Okay, push out the corners from inside. Okay, now we are going to close up the opening. Okay, let's just flatten this out first. So we're going to take out thread again. Oops. Then push this out. Okay, we are going to close up the opening. Tie a knot. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sew straight right across this line. Alright, this is where the opening is. So if you're afraid it will still open up, you can always put a pin just to hold it down. Okay. Same thing, running stitch, front to back, back to front. Front to back. Alright, all the way to this line, okay? Straight line. Alright, now that I've reached the end, I'm gonna tie a knot. So make sure that if your knot was facing you, that at this end the knot also has to face you. Don't tie a knot on the opposite side. Okay, let's tie the knot. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to sew from this end to this end, just on the opposite side. Okay, so same thing, if the knots here are facing you, this side the knots have to face you. Okay, so I'm going to tie a knot. Okay, and you cut a bit off as much as possible. So for the knot to face me, I have to start from front to back. See that? So all the knots are in the same place. So we'll sew from here to here, same thing, a running stitch, just like here. Alright, now that I have reached the end, I'm going to tie a knot. Same thing, make sure that the knot is facing you. Alright, snip that off. Okay, so this is what you have. Now we are going to fold in. So at this, you see this pointed parts? Okay, this is your guideline. You're gonna fold in this way. Okay, right on that. And use pins to hold it down. Like I said before, when you pin, it's from the top. Okay, from the top. Then from the back to the front again. Okay, repeat. Opposite side, there's 2 points. You're gonna fold in. Okay, and pin. Okay, so now we are going to sew here. Just a little small bit here and here. Okay, so first get your thread. Needle threader, embroidery needle. Thread your needle threader through your needle. Did you see that? Let me do it again. Okay. Now take your thread. Pull it through. Okay, I'm gonna snip this. Tie a knot. So now we're going to sew down right here, this line and this line. So I'm gonna just follow roughly the design. It's about 1 square. See that? About 1 square down. Start from the corner, from the front to the back, and from the back to the front. Front to the back, back to the front. Oops. Okay, this can happen with embroidery thread sometimes. Okay. Front to the back. Back to the front. Okay, so now you see what I'm doing, right? Okay, all the way down to the end. Okay, all the way down to the end. Okay, now that we reach the end, I'm gonna tie a knot. Okay, now we're gonna repeat the same thing on this side. Okay, all the way to the end. So let me tie a knot, my thread again. Same thing from front to back. Back to front. Front to back. Back to front. So all the way to this end. Okay, all the way to this end. Okay, now that I've reached the end, I'm gonna tie a knot. Snip that off, cut it off, remove all the pins. Okay, so you will have something that looks like this. You can open it up to see, right? Okay, we're gonna have it folded again. So prepare your thread first. I'm gonna tie a knot. Okay, now we're going to put the elastic. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to take the elastic, I'm going to place it, put it here. Alright, I'm going to fold, and you only need a small, just fold a small bit. If you want to measure, maybe it's about 1 cm, 1 centimeter, okay, about there. So make sure that when you fold over the elastic, that the elastic can move, okay? Alright, see, it can move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it down. to hold it. Okay, we do one side at a time. So now you're going to sew here, one straight line here. So try and sew as closely as possible. Okay, you don't want to sew the elastic, so always make sure that the elastic can move. Let me show you. So I'm going to start from front to back. Okay, back to front. See that? Front to back. Back to front. Same front to back. Be careful of the pin, don't poke yourself. Okay, you see that? Back to front. Front to back. Back to front. We are almost there. Okay. Back to front. So you see that I've sewed it a bit closer. Can you guys see? Alright. So when you already reach somewhere at the end, you can pull out your pin, because now you've sewn quite a bit. So always make sure your elastic's up. Don't sew your elastic. Front to back. Back to front. Oops. Try and make sure that it's a bit more straight now. Makes it nicer. Okay. Almost at the end, but I want my knot to be up here together with this knot. This is just to make it look a little bit neater, nicer. Okay. Okay, when you're done sewing, we're gonna tie a knot. Alright, so let's cut it off. Now I will show you one side. Okay, see, my elastic can still move. You can tie a knot with your elastic. So it's your choice. You want to tie a knot or you want to sew the two ends together. I think tying a knot is more convenient, easier, because you can adjust the elastic if you feel it's too tight or too loose. Okay. So now the other piece of elastic. Okay. Same thing. Put the elastic first. And we're going to fold. And when I'm holding it, means my elastic, see, can move. It must be able to move. We shall pin it first. Okay. And now we will sew. Okay, I've run out of thread, so let me get another piece of thread. This is good. I can show you again how to thread your thread through your needle. The needle threader, thread through the needle, the eye of the needle. Now your thread goes through needle threader just a little bit. Okay, pull it out. And the longer strand, longer part, you tie a knot. Make it nicer. You can always cut off if it's too long. after tying a knot. So I'm going to start from front to back. Okay, back to front. Front to back. So the fold here is about 1 cm, but where I sew, I'm leaving a very small space. You guys can actually see. I'm leaving this small bit here. Maybe it's half of the gingham square. And because I want to make sure I don't sew my elastic down. Oops. Front to back. Okay, all the way to the end, right? Alright, I am at the end. Okay, at the end. Now I'm gonna tie a knot. I'm gonna snip this off. Okay, just put the needle away. So my elastic is still good, still can move. Right, tie a knot. Okay, and you are done. See? So you can put it on. It's your 3D mask. Ta-da! So cute. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you really enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a slower video because I'm trying to teach step by step how to hand sew a 3D mask. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more of my craft videos. Don't forget to hit on the bell so you get a notification when I post a new video. And please like and comment. Please like and comment. And if you guys want a template, just drop me an email, sewreadyforyou@gmail.com. It's all in my description box, the measurements and everything, and what you need is in the description box. So don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you guys again. Bye.